chance to meet together, and I pray that tonight's meeting will glorify you and that everyone will have Oak Grove's best interests in mind as they discuss and as they talk about anything that needs to be talked about. And I pray that you will give everyone a blessed meeting and a blessed evening as well. And just thank you for this city. In your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call the April 1st, 2024 Board of Aldermen meeting to order. City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Pam Pope,
Here.
Tracy Newcomer,
Here.
Jeremy Taylor,
Here.
Jim Shrout,
Here.
Kelly Netto,
Here.
Rachel Kilmer,
Here.
and Mayor Dana Webb.
Here, thank you. The next item on the agenda is new business deletions or continuances. We do not have any of those this evening, so we will move on to public comments. City Clerk, do we have any public comments?
There are none.
There are no public comments this evening, so we will move on to our next item, which is the consent agenda. These items are considered on the consent agenda so that members of the board, by unanimous consent, can designate routine items to be approved by one motion. Tonight, we have approval of the March 4th, 2024 Board of Aldermen meeting minutes, expenditures through March 28th, 2024, and the February 2024 financial statement.
I make a motion we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is unfinished business. We do not have any of that this evening, so we will move on to new business. The first item is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a mayoral appointment of Shane Stevens to the Jackson County Board of Equalization. So that one's me. Shane has been our Board of Equalization rep for several years now. He really enjoys it. So I talked to him last week. He's just kind of starting to get a good groove and has met a lot of people. And so I asked him if he would re-up for another term. So I'm asking for approval.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve Shane Stevens for the Jackson County Board of Equalization. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a resolution of a projected non-binding property tax rate for the city of Oak Grove. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So state statute requires that cities informally project a non-binding property tax levy. That non-binding tax levy is due to the county no later than April 8th. So it is non-binding. The actual tax levy will be set later in the year in September by the board. With that, happy to answer questions the board may have. Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Does the board have any questions for staff?
Make a motion, we approve the resolution on the non-binding property tax rate.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution for the non-binding property tax rate. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding a resolution amending the comprehensive plan of the city of Oak Grove. Matt?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. So this is to amend the city's compensation plan to increase the entry ceiling along with each step for the compensation levels to reflect a 3.5% cost of living adjustment. This would be effective if approved the next payroll in April.
So this is just to match what was already approved?
Correct.
It's just in the step?
Yeah, so this was, the 3.5% was included in the 2024 budget to take effect after the first quarter. So this is to match what was approved as part of the budget. It's 3.5%. which at the time was projected to more align with the estimated inflation rate for 2023. The average annual inflation in 2023 was actually 4.12%. Looking back at the last 5 years, inflation has been just over 21%. And if approved tonight, this COLA increase would put our 5 years at 13%. So we're keeping in line, but we are slightly less because of the high inflation in the last few years.
Thank you, Matt.
I make a motion that we approve the resolution amending the compensation plan, bringing it to
Second.
the, I was not done. Gosh, to the 3.5%. Okay, now go.
Second.
There we go.
We have a motion and a second to approve the resolution amending the comprehensive plan. Any discussion?
Compensation.
Compensation plan, excuse me. Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill Number 2407 regarding an ordinance approving the cooperative agreement between the City of Oak Grove and Jackson County for the Combat Law Enforcement School-Based Initiatives Program. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. This is the annual grant allotment to the district or to the police department and city that covers our law enforcement school-based initiative, previously referred to as the DARE grant. Because there are multiple programs that are held throughout Jackson County, it is now the LSBI grant that covers that. So we receive a set rate of $75,000, which is an officer base pay of $49,000, and then an allowable 14% for fringe benefits. Everything above that, to that $75,000, covers all of the equipment needs for the DARE program as it is, as well as training needs for the DARE officers, school resource officers, and other law enforcement officers, as long as the training facilitates handling of youth offenders, youth crimes, things of that nature. We've benefited greatly from this grant each year. It has provided for the officers to go to defensive tactics training, per se, to learn how to deal with combating juveniles in the best way possible and the safest manner for the students and the officers involved. It has covered a lot of drug training for the officers across the board for the whole department. So we look forward to another year of being able to benefit from those funds, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chief. Does the board have any questions for Chief?
I move for the first and second reading by title only of Bill Number 2407.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the proposed, for reading, excuse me, let me start over. We have a motion and a second for the reading of the proposed ordinance of Bill Number 2407 by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement between the City of Oak Grove, Missouri and Jackson County, Missouri for the funding from Jackson County's Combat Law Enforcement School-Based Initiatives or similar anti-drug, anti-violent programs, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. An ordinance approving a cooperative agreement between the City of Oak Grove, Missouri and Jackson County, Missouri for funding from Jackson County's Combat Law Enforcement School-Based Initiatives or similar anti-drug and anti-violence programs, and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement.
I move for the adoption of Bill Number 2407.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of Bill Number 2407 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Kelly Netto,
Yes.
Rachel Kilmer.
Yes.
The motion is approved and adopted as ordinance number 2106. Is that noise the mic's popping, or what is it? Okay, all right. All right, I was just wondering what that was. All right, the next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action for Bill number 2408 regarding an ordinance approving the final plat for Rustic Heights Phase lots 1 through 21 and tract of land being located east half of Section 33, Township 49, Range 29 West in Oak Grove, Jackson County. Corey or Matt? It's Matt.
Has to be me. So consider, for approval, the final plat for Phase 1 of Rustic Heights subdivision. Phase 1 includes 21 lots, which consist of 24 plexes and 1 8-plex. It also includes Tract A, which would house the pool and clubhouse. This development has been, through various approvals for the last, started 5 years ago. The previous final plat was approved in October of 2022 by Planning and Zoning Commission. The new plat is required to align with their revised concept PUD plan for the larger stormwater detention basin. So nothing really has changed from the plan other than a revised stormwater detention plan, but that did require a new concept PUD, a new final PUD, and preliminary plat. So the Planning Commission recommended approval of this new final plat on March 19th of this year. The applicant is requesting the approval of the final plat for Phase 1 of Rustic Heights. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
Thank you, Matt.
There weren't any changes from the preliminary plat to this, really?
Yeah, no changes. No changes from the preliminary plat or the concept or PUD plan.
Okay.
It's as presented at those meetings.
Okay. I move for first and second reading by title only of bill number 24-08.
Second?
We have a motion and a second for the first and second reading of the proposed ordinance by title only. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. City Clerk, would you please read the full title of the bill 2 times?
An ordinance approving the final plat for Rustic Heights Phase 1, lots 1 through 21, a tract of land being located in the east half of Section 33, Township 49 North, Range 29 West, in Oak Grove, Jackson County, Missouri. An ordinance approving the final plat for Rustic Heights Phase 1, lots 1 through 21, a tract of land being located in the east half of Section 33, Township 49 North, Range 29 West, in Oak Grove, Jackson County, Missouri.
I move for adoption of bill number 24-08.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the adoption of bill number 2408 to ordinance. Any discussion? If not, City Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Pam Pope,
Yes.
Tracy Newcomer,
Yes.
Jeremy Taylor,
Yes.
Jim Shrout,
Yes.
Kelly Netto,
Yes.
and Rachel Kilmer.
Yes.
Motion is approved and adopted, and it becomes ordinance number 2107. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding an agreement with Landwork Studio LLC for the Park Master Plan and authorizing the mayor to execute the agreement. Is that you, Scott?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. On December 11th of last year, we issued a request for qualifications for a park master plan. The sealed bids were submitted to us back on January 5th, and they were open. We had 4 submittals. After we received the submittals, they went to the selection committee for their review and scoring. The selection committee recommended interviewing 2 of the 4. The selection committee then conducted an interview with the top 2 with the ultimate recommendation of Landwork Studio as being this for the Board of Aldermen to approve and to contract. I think there were some things that were added in the interview process that Landwork Studio was able to put in at no additional cost. And this is our first park master plan, so it took quite a bit of work to go through. It's a little bit of a learning curve for me as well with the park master plan, so we're excited about it, and there's a lot of work up ahead if approved. Do you have any questions, or would you like anything about the process, or?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, unless I missed it and we had something previously, I guess there wasn't much detail about like who all was involved in the process, or
I was gonna ask.
were
the same
different
thing.
companies that were involved, and I guess some of the thought process behind the decision?
So the selection committee was made up of the mayor, the city minister, myself, the park board president, and the liaison from the Board of Aldermen to the park board. That was the selection committee that was set up.
Did they have any, to kind of go off of what I think Jeremy was asking, were there any hesitations with Landworks, or was it a unanimous decision that everyone was happy with this company?
I think there was two companies that really stood out above the other two,
Okay.
and those two were interviewed, and I think those two were very close, and it was a little bit of a tough decision between the two. I think either one would have been outstanding for the city to work with.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Can you share who they were? Or
Oh,
is
yes,
that-
absolutely. It was Landworks, and this is in no order, Landworks Studio, Olson, Verio, and Dick Horton Consultants.
I know, of course, Olson was involved with the comprehensive plan for the city, so what was it that stood out about Landworks, I guess, if anyone?
So we were sent a scoring sheet, and so it came down to Landworks and Vireo, is that how you say it?
Yes.
Those two. They came and gave a presentation to the committee. And then it was talked about at the park board meeting. Tracy, would you like to chime in, or be as liaison?
Landwork's big selling point for me was they had in the plan, it'll break down on a timeline with concrete dates of when things need to get done by. So that'll hold future boards accountable as well as the park department, which I think overall is the hope for the plan, is to make sure things are moving forward in the way that we would like it to.
So maybe we're a little bit more strategic and
More structured.
tangible things.
Yeah, the committee's excitement was that you could right away see tangible things happen, because they would, with this mapping, they could actually, place things. A bench needs to go there, a water fountain needs to go there, or a shelter needs to go, whichever park. But they will spend time going around, almost like the comprehensive plan, pretty much the same, having public meetings, going around talking to individuals. They will show up at any of our events that we have and interview people. They will go around to all of the parks and they called it an inventory, right? It's almost like a report card. They showed us examples of it, and they get pretty serious about it, telling you what they like and do not like about their parks. Because they gave us examples from, I don't know how many parks. What would you guys say?
Several.
Oh,
They-
yeah. And they showed report cards of how they did everything.
And if I may add, there was four qualifications that each were scored upon.
Yeah, please.
One was qualifications of the consultant and project team. Another area was relevant project experience. Another one was approach and schedule, and then finally, the fee schedule. So during the interview process is when the fees were discussed. Prior to, there was no discussion of fees, but we did put in the RFQ what the budget number was. And so that helped scoring of that. And then from there, that was when we interviewed with both.
And the final two were competitive on, when you talked fees, were they?
Actually, the final two were very competitive. They were right, same dollar. I mean, within few. I think it may be $200 difference. One was way out of line on the fee, and that was just a verbal, that I don't think we even had it written down, so. In addition, this will have a statistically valid survey that will go to the community, that the community's input will come in, and it'll be based on an actual valid survey like we did for the aquatic center and the renovation of the city facilities. And that's a large part of this 80-some thousand.
And what will the timeline be for completion of the plan?
So it's about a year. It's moved back a little bit. We're a little behind. They would have been here tonight, but since it was Easter, and that, so they had a little bit of a staffing issue and another meeting that they had to attend. Otherwise, they would have been here.
Okay.
So what did, can you talk a little bit about, like, the process? I know you said there's a survey, but just a little bit timeline and kind of how.
So the next step is a kickoff meeting that they'll do with the board, and they'll explain everything with this, including if we want to have a steering committee or if it's just the park board and board of aldermen. Typically, there's sometimes a steering committee. You can bypass the steering committee, but you'll still have a stakeholders of some type involved in as a committee. Stakeholders are typically your league presidents, anybody that uses the park that's of a group or that's not a league, but could be a large group or even a small group, anybody that really wants to participate.
So meet with them and then kind of go from there and do their,
Report card.
Yeah.
or
Right.
Whatever they call.
and then they'll present their plan to the board and.
And they'll have some, similar to the town hall meetings like
Okay.
they had for comprehensive plan.
Yeah, they'll reach out a lot to us, ask for a lot of things. We'll give them information. They'll have us hit certain windows to get the stuff accomplished by. One of the first things they want to do is get the community survey done. So building the questions, talking to people, stakeholders. So there's a lot of work that they will tell us the schedule for them to follow. I anticipate it should easily be accomplished within a year or right at a year at most.
Scott,
that's-
I'm sorry, go ahead, Jim.
Oh, no, I was just gonna ask, because in the schedule it says see Exhibit A, but then there is no Exhibit A really, so that I could, unless I'm missing something, but,
All of them typically said 9 to 12
9
months.
to 12 months.
Yeah.
That was what I see, the hope for the adoption of the plan February 3rd of '25. So we're really looking at '26 before things might begin happening.
We'll have a good idea in the budget year of 25 coming up. The finished product will happen at that point, so there'll be a lot of work.
So we may have some ideas that we can
Yes,
put in the
yeah.
budget for '25.
Yes.
The finished document is what they plan to present then,
Okay.
if that helps.
Yeah.
Great questions, good discussion. Any more for Scott or Matt or anyone?
Jeremy, do you have any more questions? I make a motion that we approve the agreement with Landworks Studio LLC for the Park Master Plan. And I already scrolled away, I believe. Can someone remind me the cost? $84,000?
84,230.
Thank you, $84,230.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Park Master Plan with Landworks Studio LLC for $84,230. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding agreement with 2024 CIPP, which is a piping project between the City of Oak Grove and SAK Construction. Is that Matt? Corey, you're up.
Thank you, Mayor. On March 15th of this year, we had our bid opening for this year's CIPP project. Two contractors submitted bids, with SAK Construction LLC being the lowest at they came in at $149,875 at a budgeted amount of $150,000. SAK has done work here in Oak Grove before, most recently in 2017. The sewer rehabilitation work utilizes cured-in-place piping to repair cracked, broken, and missing sections of clay tile, while also reducing I&I and fulfills the annual expenditure for inflow and infiltration reduction that's required by the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. Staff recommends entering into an agreement with SAK Construction LLC to perform the CIPP work for the I&I reduction program in the amount of $149,875. And with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Corey.
Corey, what did we do to identify these specific areas as what needs to be done?
Yes, so the ones on this year are specific locations that we've come across over the last couple of years. They've been problematic due to tree roots protruding, broken pipes, difficult access. They've all been televised, jet cleaned, and that's kind of where our list has grown and come from.
Is there a short version of how this works? This, what do they call it, in place?
Cured in place pipe?
Yes.
A short version?
Yeah.
Sure. The contractor will basically show up on site and jet clean and get the sewer main ready that meets their expectations. And essentially, I guess you could say they enter a liner from one manhole to the other.
Okay.
And then they go back through and cut out all the services with a little robot, I guess you could say. And the pipe has got resin on it, or the liner has resin on it, and it kind of turns clay tile into basically maybe like a PVC pipe. So is
Thank you.
maybe the best I can put it.
Is there, just curious, is there, like sections, you said broken pipe, I mean, is this all stuff that they can just go in and use the lining? Or do you have to do some sort of any structural repairs before they can use the lining?
Sometimes you do got to do structural, like spot repairs, so that they can get their liner through. The ones that we've selected this year, we've televised ourselves, and we believe that the contractor shouldn't have any issues with this year's list.
Did we get that one issue resolved? I'm sure we did, but I can't remember now. The one with the exposed? Okay.
Any other questions for Corey?
I make a motion that we approve the agreement for the 2024 CIPP pipeline project between Oak Grove and SAK Construction and the cost of not to exceed $150,000.
Second.
We have a motion and a second regarding the agreement between CIPP and SAK, with the CIPP plan and the SAK construction not exceeding $150,000. It's a lot of letters. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. The next item on the agenda is what you're all here for tonight, the moment we've been waiting for. We're going to recognize two of our aldermen that will be leaving us, not for tonight. They've been informed that we asked them to come back again for the last meeting, which will be on the 15th. But we are all going to go down to the floor and do a special ceremony for them. So please join us.
It's a dance, Jim.
Yeah, it's a dance.
We're gonna dance.
At me,
You're to have the solo.
I do?
Not be fun?
No. Dance.
All right. If family and friends want to come all the way up to here and take pictures, you're more than welcome. Sherry, I know you want to. Come on up. And then when we're done with this part, we have cake over there and some refreshments.
Oh, we have to close the meeting, right?
Yeah, we have to go back up close the meeting. All right, so we have two different proclamations. The first one we're going to start with is Jeremy's, and then Rachel's going to give him a plaque, and then we'll talk about what Kelly has. So bear with me, here we go. I'll stand over by you. All right. Whereas we wish to express sincere appreciation to Jeremy Taylor for his service and dedication as a member to the Board of Aldermen, and whereas Jeremy Taylor has been a resident since 2003. He grew up in the neighboring Blue Springs and was a 1996 graduate of Blue Springs South High School. He attended Northwest Missouri State University of Missouri, Kansas City, and later entered his bachelor's degree in management with Park University in 2009. Taylor is currently employed by Commerce Trust Company, a division of Commerce Bank. And whereas Jeremy Taylor was elected to Alderman Ward 1 in April of 2012. That would be 12 years. It's a long time. And then subsequently re-elected for 6 two-year terms. He has served as Mayor Pro Tem and Liaison of Planning and Zoning Commission and on the Board and Zoning Adjustment. And whereas Jeremy Taylor selflessly served his community for 12 years as the Alderman of Ward 1, encompassing approximately 288 Board of Aldermen meetings and working alongside numerous aldermen and alderwomen, and following the mayors of Mark Folks, Mayor Jeremy Martin, and myself. And whereas Jeremy Taylor had the honor of representing his hometown and has proved himself as a valuable asset to his citizens of his ward and to Oak Grove, Missouri, working constantly for the betterment of the community. And whereas, as displayed of core values of integrity, honesty, and impartiality, as well as an openness to learn and desire to help others. So I, Dana R. Webb, and the Board of Aldermen and Women do hereby declare this day Jeremy Taylor Day. Congratulations. Oh, yeah, so, and he also has his years of service plaque right here. That's how many years he served in Oak Grove. And then Kelly has his, we give the challenge coin, the mayor's challenge coin. It says, everybody gets the same saying on it. It says, I, Mayor Webb, present this coin to recognize you as an individual who embodies excellence, not only in themselves, but in our community. This is displayed through your service, purpose, focus, and ambition. Together, everyone achieves more. So then you get that as well. All right, everybody come in and get a picture. You stay where you're at, Jim. Come on, picture time. Kim? Good. All right. Next up. Jim, you two get to help. There you go. All right, Jim. You're ready to take the camper away, right? All ready? Yeah. Jim wasn't gonna come, he was gonna go ahead and load the camper up and leave, but I'm glad he came tonight. Whereas, we wish to express sincere appreciation to Jim Shrout for his service and dedication as a member of the Oak Grove Board of Aldermen. And his family has deep roots in Oak Grove. His mother, Clarabelle, was born in Oak Grove in October 11th, 1919, and was recognized as one of the centurions by the mayor and the Board of Aldermen in 2019. And his father, James, served as a city clerk for Oak Grove in 1966 and 1967 under my uncle, the mayor at that time. Yeah. Jim has been a lifelong resident of Oak Grove and a graduate at Oak Grove High School. He is now retired and lives in Oak Grove with his wife. Jim was appointed to Ward 3 in September of 2009 to fill a vacant seat, and then elected in 2010 and re-elected for 6 two-year terms. And whereas Jim has selflessly served his community for 14 years and 7 months. He has approximately attended 350 Board of Aldermen meetings and working alongside numerous aldermen and alderwomen and following the mayors of Mark Folks, Jeremy Martin, and myself. Jim Shrout had the honor of representing his hometown and has proved himself valuable as a citizen in his ward and working constantly for the betterment of his community. And whereas Jim Shrout has displayed his core values of honesty, integrity, and impartiality, as well as an openness to learn. And I hereby declare this proclamation in this day, Jim Shrout Day, along with Jeremy Taylor Day. Okay. And then you have your plaque, your service plaque as well. There you go. And then you have the same coin, your challenge coin. You're welcome. We're gonna get a picture, is that all right? Okay. Everybody join in. Good? Okay. Take the two of you over here. Okay, we're gonna close the meeting and you can have them. All right, so we're gonna go back to close the meeting, and then one last thing that Jim and Jeremy are gonna do is we have unstuck their pictures, and they're gonna get to walk up and take their pictures off of the wall. So they wanted their pictures, so we're giving them to them.
Like a reality TV show.
I know, right?
When they're like cast off the island.
get a rose.
What'd you say? Oh,
Did you want your picture or did you want it extinguished?
Yeah.
torch. All right, the next item on the agenda is information reports. Matt?
None, just to thank Alderman Jeremy Taylor and Alderman Jim Schrout for their service, and it's been a pleasure working with both of you. Thank you.
Very good. Chris?
Same thing. I'm going to miss working with Jeremy and Jim. Seen you guys sitting up there for a lot of years. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Chief?
Voice as well, congratulations both. Just to let everyone know, this April is the registration month for low-speed vehicles and recreation vehicles. So that was placed out on Facebook today, and so we're looking to get those re-registered and new registrations. We hit almost 80 last year, so I would imagine that to go up a little bit. And we're happy to announce that the second administrative assistant started today.
Nice.
And so that has already been a boon for the department. We'll continue to grow in that position.
Who is it? Can we share or no?
Oh, yeah, she goes by Clara, but it's Clarissa Breedman, Oak Grove resident.
Lovely.
But she goes by Clara.
Nice.
Great. Awesome. Corey?
No report, but congratulations to you too.
Kim?
Congratulations, it's been great working with you guys. We're going to miss you.
Tina? No report.
Same thing.
Okay. Scott?
I'd just like to thank the mayor and board of aldermen for the paving done at the field house for the parking lot. It's almost finished. We hope to have it striped by the end of the week if weather permits. And congratulations on your guys' year of service. It's been a pleasure working with both of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Rachel?
Congrats, guys. Thank you for welcoming the newbies on here and training us.
Very good. Kelly?
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to you guys. I'll tell you, coming up here without a whole lot of like political or anything experience is extremely overwhelming. And I was shaking the very first time I ever walked up here, and you guys were very kind and welcoming and didn't poke fun at me or laugh at me when I ask silly questions or when I get grouchy. So, I appreciate it. Also, one more thing. Isn't the household waste thing, is that this weekend? Can we, okay,
It's been
can
promoted
we
on
say
Facebook.
something about it here tonight? I don't remember all the information.
No, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
Kim, do you have, or just
Kim-
before we shut
Kim,
down,
would you
we can-
please say something?
Not to put you on the spot. Sorry, I don't remember everything, but I saw it like right before I walked in here.
It is posted on Facebook and it's on our website as well. It's Saturday, April the 6th, and
In Lee Summit, isn't the drop-off, is that?
it's a mobile, and then it's also in the utility building that went out, a flyer.
Okay.
So the resident should receive that.
Yeah, so the first pop-up event is in Blue Springs, April
That's right.
6th. There's several pop-up collection sites across the metro this year. Our pop-up event is actually going to be the last one in partnership with Jackson County and Grand Valley at the Jackson County's Public Works facility. But residents can also use the permanent locations in Lee Summit and Kansas City for free. And so we've got that flyer. It's on our website and social media. Unfortunately, we didn't get it in time to get it in last month's utility bill inserts, but it
Yeah.
will go in this month's utility bill insert, so everyone should have that. They'll also get an electronic version as well.
Perfect. I just saw it like right before I got here and I
That
was
was
like, oh, we should
the
mention
hazardous
that.
waste?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But also there's something about the other one, right? The
Yeah,
yard
so-
waste
yeah,
that's
so-
open? Okay.
Yes,
Yeah, so the eastern Jackson County, well, it's the entire Jackson County yard waste facility is open to 1st April and Saturday, so it's coming up. And that is just up there on Old Pink Hill Road, just outside
Is
of
it
town.
free?
It's $1 a bag.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, but yeah, you guys, congrats.
Jim?
Well, I just do want to thank the people of Oak Grove for voting for me and having encouragement for me. When I started this, I didn't know a lot either. But I tell you what, it's very interesting and very informative. You just can't imagine what the things that need to be done to run a city, and very enlightening. And I just thank everybody for standing beside me and my wife too. And thank you very much.
Jeremy?
Well, yeah, thank you for the recognition. It's been a pleasure to participate in all this for so long, so I'll miss it, but enjoyed working with everyone, and thank you. Sorry, I'm not a big speaker.
There's supposed to be tears.
Tracy?
I just want to say congratulations as well. It's been an honor to serve with both of you.
I obviously would like to repeat that, and you're leaving very big shoes to fill. Hopefully, we will be successful with that, and don't forget to go vote tomorrow.
So Jim and Jeremy, you guys have been faithful servants to our community. Our proclamations say so much, but we can't say enough words for as many years together that you two have put in. And so thank you for being dedicated to our community and wanting to serve. It's been an honor to serve along beside you. I too was welcomed in when I came on the council. And you guys will be hard people to fill the shoes, but I personally appreciate you being invested in your community and stepping up and wanting to serve. So thank you very much. Yes. All right, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn so we can eat that cake and take those cool pictures that they want off the wall. Yeah.
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Second?
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned. So it's